Everyone, my name is Eric Jenkins. I'm a associate professor of communication, and hopefully this is you're in the right spot. This is the syllabus video for COMM 4029, Communication and Technology. I just wanted to start off by saying that I'm here for you in any way that you need. I know these are trying times, trying to juggle online classes so much, and online classes take a lot more of self-discipline. So please email me. I probably won't be in the office very often, but I respond to email very quickly. And all day on Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be dedicating my time just to this class. So in particular on Tuesday, Thursday, if you have questions or whatever, we can have appointments and discuss those. I will also at least once a week when we don't have in-person Zoom meetings or WebEx meetings, I will make myself available for questions and open the WebEx for questions and stuff. So I encourage you to take advantage of those opportunities as well. Hopefully you've seen that all of the articles we'll be reading for this class will be posted on Blackboard. This class is basically about how digital media have changed our society and our culture. By digital media, we mean things like the internet, smartphones, social networking sites, video games, even things like digital television and on-demand television fall under digital media. Digital is just signals computer, so any media that uses a computer is a digital medium. Obviously, television and radio and things like that, there's what's called an analog version that didn't use computers. So it's not like we're debating television, or we'll be talking about television, but maybe the ways that digital media have changed television. Things like Netflix, for instance, and Amazon Prime. What we're going to do in this class in order to discuss these topics and learn about these topics is research and do debates via WebEx on these topics. I was a debater in college, and I coached debate shortly after college. And I fundamentally believe in the power of debate for teaching critical thinking skills. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is debate requires you to do research and to discuss both sides of a topic, which I think helps get you deeper into a topic than you might in just like writing a paper or giving a speech or something like that. And second is this thing in pedagogy and in education studies called active learning. That we know that from study after study that people internalize and really learn things better when they are learning themselves, right? You might think of passive learning as me giving a lecture and you just listening to that lecture, whereas active learning is you taking material and presenting on that or something like that. And debate is one of the best mechanisms of engaging active learning because you're going to have to stand up in front of your classmates and present research and make arguments and think on your feet. And I think both the competition and sort of the peer pressure of having eyes on you, as well as the active learning process of doing debates, makes everyone into a much better critical thinker. In fact, I've found no other activity in classes that do as well. Group exercises, papers, quizzes, tests, all those things are more passive than our debates. And so I know you might be a little nervous about debates if you haven't done them before, but I promise you, it's not a difficult thing to do, and it's a very valuable and fun experience. So we're going to be debating 3 different topics. They're all very similar, but you can see first topic resolved: digital communication media are net beneficial for education. So not just in school education, but also out of school. Are we reading more? Are we learning more? Do we have access to more information? Are using digital media in the classroom a distraction, or are they beneficial ways to get students engaged and involved? Also, second topic here, we have digital communication media are net beneficial for politics. Does it make our government better? Does it make citizenship better? Does it make voting easier or harder? Misinformation, fake news, journalism, all these kinds of topics. Then the third topic, resolve digital communication media are net beneficial for the quality of life. Quality of life is usually about health and happiness. So, how good is your life going? So in this, we'll talk about friendships and relationships and mental health and physical health and the ways that digital communication media are connected to those topics. You might think about this topic as, are digital media, is my smartphone and social media, is it good for me as an individual? Does it make me healthier and happier? Obviously, for the course objectives, I want us to learn to think about digital media. Digital media are one of the major revolutionary changes that have happened during our lifetime. I don't think we even have completely come to grips with how much it's changed our society yet. And so I think it will be important for you, especially as you enter the real world and have your own children and stuff, to think about these issues. This class should also help you become a better writer and a better presenter, and also a better critical thinker, as I mentioned, as well as learning how to do better research and read and analyze that research as well. Generally in my courses, my expectations are twofold. One is engagement. I expect you to come on the WebEx days and on the debate days and really listen and really engage and contribute to the discussion. And then the second expectation is effort. I try to grade everything that you do based on effort. That is, excuse me, I'm gonna drink a little bit of water here. That is, if you put in the time to read the articles and you demonstrate that, I'm not going to grade you on your delivery skills, on how polished you are as a speaker. I'm going to grade you on the effort you put in these debates. So the course policies, I'm going to go through these quickly. I'll focus on the ones that are really important here. First of all, the attendance policies. You'll notice on the syllabus below that there are 6 days besides the debate days where we have WebEx meetings. One of those is on Thursday. On Thursday is a day to introduce myself to you and you to introduce you to me and to ask any questions you might have about the syllabus. So please go to this Google Doc link here and sign up for a 5-minute meeting on Thursday. Whether you have any questions or not, I'd like to see your face and get to know you just a little bit. So please do that. The other 5 days, or the other 6 days, I'm sorry, there are 7 total. 3 of them are what I'm calling rebuttal days. So after we read some stuff on the affirmative side and some stuff on the negative side for each topic, at the end of those, we're going to have a kind of an open forum WebEx day where we come in and talk about, like, how could we answer that argument, right? For instance, on the education topic, we're going to have the distraction disadvantage, right? That digital media distract students in the classroom and distract people from reading and learning and stuff. So maybe on those days we'll have kind of an open forum and I'll come in and I'll say, okay, how are we going to answer the distraction disadvantage? And we'll brainstorm them together and I'll kind of type them up in a Word document and then send those out to you. And then the other 3 days, so that's one for each topic, a rebuttal day. And the other 3 days that are WebEx meetings are coaching sessions. So the day before debates start, we'll have little 15-minute coaching sessions with you and your partners. And where you'll just come in and talk about what your major arguments are that you're going to answer. We can talk about how to rebuttal some of the other team's arguments during that time. And we'll just kind of go over, it'll be a chance for me to give you some sort of one-on-one or one-on-3, as it may be, feedback and coaching before the debates start. Each debate team will consist of 3 people, and each debater will do 1 speech per debate. So go ahead and start thinking about reaching out to people you know in the class to form a debate team of 3 people. If you don't know someone, I will assign you to a team, but you can go ahead and start thinking about that. So there are 6 WebEx days, the 3 rebuttal days, and the 3 coaching sessions. And there is an attendance policy for those days. I'll allow you to miss 2 of those meetings in case you have work or something like that. All these meetings will take place at our class time. That's at 3:30 to 4:45 on Tuesday and Thursdays. But you can miss 2 of those meetings, and if you miss more than that, then I am going to take off half a letter grade from your final. Great. So the WebEx meetings, the sign up for the coaching sessions and the meetings on Thursday, just go to this Google Doc link here and reserve your slot. If you can meet a little bit before class or a little bit after class, please sign up for one of those slots because in order to give everybody 5 minutes or in order to give every team 15 minutes, we have to run a little bit before and a little bit after class, and there's just no other way to do that. So if you can, be accommodating to others and sign up for slots that are a little bit before or a little bit after class. And then all the WebEx meetings will take place at this link here. I'll post that every week. Every week on Canvas, what I will do is at the beginning of the week, usually on Sunday, I'll post a checklist that says, here's the things to do this week. And it'll say, for Tuesday, watch this video, and I'll have a link to that video. For Thursday, post your brief, and it'll say that, right, etc. Debates start on Thursday. Here's the WebEx link. So basically every week, if you check that one announcement, you should be keeping up with the class. I'm trying to make it as streamlined and easy for you. But here's where you sign up for those WebEx meetings, and here's where you go when they are scheduled. The rest of this stuff is about sexual harassment, diversity, inclusion, not plagiarizing, following the student code of conduct. I encourage you to read all of this as sort of like the fine print and whatnot. And if you do have an issue with racial or sexual harassment, please contact me as soon as possible. It won't really be possible to plagiarize in this class because you're going to have to stand up and do the debate yourself and also post original briefs yourself. So I'm going to skip over the rest of this. If you do have special needs, please contact me as well. I hope that since there aren't really quizzes and tests, it will work out where we don't have too much issue with those. But just let me know if you do, and we'll try to arrange something there. So there's basically kind of the 3 debates in the class, and then what are called briefs, which is our research for those debates. Next, I believe it's Thursday, there'll be a video about the briefs in our blog. So don't worry about that at the moment. But next week, do be looking out for an email to join our blog. I like to use this off-site blog because it has better ways to organize and filter through and search through the briefs. And I'll show you that in that video. There's also the participation. Basically, this is participation during those WebEx days, right? So I'll reserve a little bit of points for that. And then the last 40 points are I'm going to ask you to vote in the debates as well. So there'll be a chance for some extra credit points for whichever team wins the class vote. And I will send these debate decisions out to the teams after you send them to me. I will put a grading rubric for the debates up on Canvas and talk about that more next week as well. So I'm going to kind of skip over that as well for now, but you can read kind of about the basics of the debate and the basics of how I'm grading it here, and you can also read about the basics of the brief and the basics of how I'm grading them there. The debate decisions part, basically, you're just going to say, did I vote affirmative or did I vote negative, and give me a 1-paragraph explanation of why you voted that way. You'll email those to me. I'll give you about a week to do that after the debates are done, and I'll give you 5 points. There's more than 8 debates, so it adds up to 40 points, and then if you do the extra, if you go over 8, I'll give you 5 extra credit points for each one of those. Also, if you can't show up on a day of the debate, you can still do the debate decisions because I will post a recording of the WebEx debate about 24 hours after the debates take place, so you can still access them there. So now the schedule, let's just talk about that real quickly. Any day there's a WebEx meeting, I highlighted it on the syllabus. So you see on Thursday we have the introduction and syllabus questions. Sign up on the Google Docs. Then next week we'll do intro to debate, kind of like what is a debate, what's it look like, and I'll show you a video for a debate. And then we'll talk about how to build your debate case and also how to do your research and post the briefs for the blog next week. Then after that, we'll just dive right into the topics. For each topic, we'll have 2 days of readings. that are for the affirmative side. It says, you see here, it says Education Pro, Education Pro. And we'll have 2 days of reading for the negative side, Education Con, Education Con. You look over here on the syllabus and it says, right here, read Education AF 1. What does that mean? Where are those down? That's down below. You'll see here the list of readings. So if it says read Education AF 1, read Education AF 1, that means these 3 readings. Oops. These 3 readings here, right? Yowell, Jarrett, and Himmelschul. Education AF 2, Thompson and Gee. Education Neg 1, Shirky, Wolf, or Shirky and Hillis. Education Neg 2 is Wolf, Carr, and Carr. Right. Some of them have links. If they have links like this, hyperlinks, then that means you can just find it online. If they don't, then it'll be on Canvas, like Thompson Smarter Than You Think selection on Canvas, right? So basically when it says here, read Education AF 1, go down to this list and read the things under Education AF 1. Anytime there's a reading, which is only 12 days of class, so 3 topics, 4 days of reading for each topic, pro, con, right? Any day there's a reading, there'll be a brief due as well. You see here, 126, you read those readings and you post a brief. And then I wanted to mention too that, on each of these days, there's probably more reading than you normally have on a single day in a class. There's 2 reasons for that. One is we're only having 12 days where we do reading. So you should have time on some of the other days to sort of read some of the articles that you didn't get a chance to read for that one day and kind of keep up. So for instance, when we debate number 1, you'll be debating only on one of these days. And you'll see the other 2 days, maybe you could go and read one of these extra articles. So try to stay ahead of the ball, ahead of the curve on these readings because you don't want to try to read all 3 articles on just this one day. And the second reason for that is I wanted to give you more information than you needed so that you could really dive into them for your debates and so you had more information. And also because everyone will have to post an original brief from the readings. And I wanted there to be enough information so everyone had the ability to post an original brief. That is, if someone else posts the quote that you wanted to post, you can't repost that. You need to post something different. And so I needed to give you enough reading so that everyone could post a different brief. At the end of the reading wave, pro, con, we'll have a rebuttal day on WebEx. Again, it's bolded right here. That'll be the day where you just come on February 4th. We'll have an open WebEx session, and I'll say, okay, the distraction disadvantage, how are we going to answer that? And we'll just brainstorm rebuttal responses for the teams to answer those things. The day after the rebuttal day will be the coaching sessions, and again, you should sign up, and I'll remind you to do that via that same Google Doc posted above. This is 15-minute sessions. You'll come in with your partners. You'll say, here's the arguments we want to make. Here's the arguments that they've told us they want to make. How do we answer those? How do I craft this argument well, etc. And we'll have little coaching sessions. And then there'll be 3 days of debates. Each debate lasts about 35 minutes. So there'll be 2 debates per day. You and your 2 partners against another 3-person team. And then, we'll do that twice each time. WebEx. I encourage you, if you can attend at 3:30, to watch those debates at that time so you can send in your debate decisions relatively rapidly and not have to go back and watch the video later on. Same format for the next topic. For the politics topic, we'll read Politics AF 1, we'll read Politics Neg 1, we'll read Politics AF 2, we'll read Politics Neg 2. We'll have that rebuttal day at the end of all that. We'll have coaching sessions right after that, and then we'll have 3 days of debates. Same thing again. Quality Life Pro, Quality of Life Con, Quality of Life Pro, Quality of Life Con, AF 1, Neg 1, AF 2, Neg 2 on the readings. Again, every day we have a reading, you'll be posting a brief. So there's 12 total days of reading. There's 12 total briefs. And that's your research assignment. You don't really have to do outside research. You can do some, and you'll be required to do a little bit, to supplement these readings, but I'm giving you the research, some really quality sources, and you're going to brief those up. Briefing basically just means like turning them into short arguments, right? Turning them in, paraphrasing or cutting and pasting short arguments from the research. I did reserve one last day, the April 22nd slot, because classes technically end on April 21st, but that's a Wednesday, and I reserved that Thursday slot at 3:30 just in case, because of illness or something like that, we have to do some makeup debates. So put that in your calendars as well. Hopefully that's simple enough. I think once we get into go through it one time where we're doing the affirmative reading, negative reading, having a rebuttal day, having the coaching sessions, etc., and that you'll get the pattern of the class down. But that's basically it. We're going to do some research on these topics. We're going to debate these topics. Three total debates. No big paper, no big tests, nothing like that. Again, I believe debating will teach you, we'll learn a lot about these topics, which I think are essential topics, but we'll also learn just how to do research, how to think critically, how to think on our feet. And those are invaluable skills, I believe, for any functioning human being. So I'm really looking forward to this class. I love this class. I love doing debates. Every time I teach it, people end up loving it. I run into people out and about in Cincinnati, and they say, "Oh, I loved your class so much. Thank you so much." So I hope you have the same experience. It will be a little bit different via Zoom than in person, but hopefully it's an enjoyable topic for you, and you gain something by doing the debates. So please come on Thursday and let me know if you have any questions, and we'll get this class underway. Have a great week.